Let's have a little bit of contact there from Scott. He muscles his way past.
To the back of... Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello race fans and welcome to week 3 of the V8 Supercar Americas, and I'm JD Smith. With me tonight will be Kane Kraft, and we're going to be at the wonderful Watkins Glen for some great V8s action. And Kane, how you doing here today? I want to get on with some other things, but just wanted to say hey first.
Oh, I'm excited. Watkins Glen is always a great race. It's got to be one of my favorite tracks to watch the racing at because the racing's always so close and it's always so exciting. So I'm excited to be at Watkins Glen because I know it's going to be a great race.
It is. This is V8's Online. We want to let you know that it's brought to you by V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and the V8's Online Superstore. And always, we're presented to you live in glorious HD, and man, it looks so beautiful, especially here at the Glen. Last season, we had one of the best races ever that I've been a part of as far as a broadcast crew with you, Kane, and we just had a phenomenal race all the way through. Of course, it was pure domination by Chad Chastain there in the Can-Am Motorsport Ford, but it's going to be fun to see if he's going to be able to retain his recent success here at the Glen, or we'll see a new namer come in here and shock us all.
Yeah, it's possible. I know that we've had some new talent show up to the series that's really been doing a great job. Several different drivers have really been showing a lot of improvement this year. And then, of course, there's Marlon McMullen, who's had our current champion, who's had a couple bad races, but it's definitely his turn to start stepping it up, and his luck's bound to start turning around. So I imagine we'll see him have a pretty good race this week. Watkins Glen is a lot of people's favorite track.
I had a short word with Marlon right before we started the broadcast as he was warming up. And Kane, you know, he had a rough first week at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Then last week at Brands Hatch, of course, he was not at the race, but he will return this week. And with that, you got to expect him to come out with a bang. He's running out of options. With him not being able to show up last week, it really cuts down on any drop week options that he has. He's going to have to start performing quickly, but we saw it all season last year. The defending champ won't lay down. I'm sure he'll be coming out with bells on today. He'll be showing up to play.
I'm sure you're right. The last couple weeks has been a little frustrating for him, and with it being Watkins Glen, one of his more favorite tracks, I imagine we'll see him turn it up today.
Another driver that we're probably going to want to keep an eye on will be Nigel Baines of SDC Motorsports. He had a phenomenal 6th place finish at Brands Hatch. Did great at Mosport too. He's been flirting with top 5s all season long, and just don't be surprised to see him battle for a podium, if nothing else a win, as he'll be heading into Watkins Glen. He just seems to improve week after week. And another one, if he's back, is Bo Cattell. Of course, he started the season with a 2nd place finish, Kane, and then he backed it up at Brands Hatch with another 2nd place finish. So Bo Cattell really, really earning for a win, and 3rd time's a charm. So let's see if he can do it if he's here at the Glen with us today. It'll be interesting to see if he'll return after first 2 weeks of great success here in this series.
Yeah, that's true. Bo Cattell's definitely one to watch for. Another couple cars to watch for is the Kamikaze guys. They had such a great race yesterday. 1-2 finish for Fulcher and Anderson, I believe it is. Those guys got out front in yesterday's race and just took off and left everybody behind.
Yeah, Michael Fulcher and Mark D. Anderson apparently had a fantastic race yesterday in the Thursday round of the series. Looking at some other drivers that have made an impact early in the season, Sam Collins showed up great last week with a podium at Brands Hatch. And Sam Collins, we've seen him before. he can actually, come out of nowhere, and next thing you know, he's high up in the point standings. Another one to watch out for is going to be Sanjin Delilac. Kane Sanjin has been improving week after week, and we know he's no stranger to being fast, so look for him to be a really fast option here as we head into Watkins Glen as well. Sanjin, he's just one of those guys that's a workhorse, Kane, and I see him literally every time I'm in a practice session, and he's always working on setups, always, working on technique, always trying to knock off literally hundreds of a second to get that extra tenth shade off by the afternoon. Look for him to be a big contender here in the Nissan Altitude. I'm telling you, he's going to be a real competitor here today. Another thing we might want to keep an eye on, Kane, is we may have some special guests here tonight. I don't know for a fact if we will, but just want to keep our eye open. We may have some special guests. Watkins Glen is a fan favorite, but it's also a driver favorite, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the drivers that we don't normally see try to get into this top split race, and I'm sure they'll have no problem getting in if they want to. So it'll be fun to see if we have any special guests here today.
Yeah, taking a peek at the qualifying coming into today's race, looks like Michael Fulcher's really setting a pretty good time. I think we'll see him starting up near the front. Sanjin's also smoking, and we'll see him up toward the front as well. So these guys are down into the 111s this time around, and it looks like we're going to see a great race. Everybody's times are real close tonight, so I think we're going to see some excellent racing.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I know we're going to have some good racing. It's Watkins Glen. But things are going to be a little bit different this time around, Kane. And in the fact of last time we ran here, we kind of had to fuel save a little bit and had a pit stop. This race, they have shortened the race tremendously. So instead of more of a longer run, we're going to have more of a short sprint here at Watkins Glen. This thing's going to start and end in a hurry, and it's going to be just full throttle the whole time. It's going to be, you're going to have to go out from the get-go. There will be no cruise time.
I think the drivers are going to like that. It was a very long, almost an endurance race last time. And I think they're really going to like the fact that it's going to be a sprint race tonight. So they're not going to have to worry about pit stops, just a matter of staying on the track and getting their laps completed and getting the race over with. So I think the drivers will probably really going to like tonight's race.
Awesome. That is great word, Kane, for our race tonight. And, of course, we'll be heading to bring you some pictures in about 7 or 8 minutes. But in the meantime, I do want to talk about a special event we held a little earlier in the week. Kane, we had the first ever Daytona shootout presented by Get Dirty MX and V8s Online. And it was a huge success. I think we had literally one of the best finishes I've seen in a long time, with literally 0.02 of a second separating our winner and second place. What a phenomenal race after we had 41 entries, and then we had to cut down to 32 drivers for the start of the race. It was just an unbelievable event. We did have quite a few cautions, but that's expected to happen when you get quite a big field of drivers like that, and it's not an official session, so everybody's racing a little harder knowing that there's no I rating or safety rating at stake. And it was just nothing to prove but for pride. So it was really fun to watch, and I really enjoyed it. We held that. It was at the Daytona International Speedway, obviously, and it was the very first one that we've ever hosted, so it was a learning session, but I think the drivers really enjoyed it, Kane.
Yeah, on the screen now I've got a picture of the finish there at Daytona on the shootout, and it was 0.02 of a second difference. It was the closest photo finish that I've had the pleasure of watching, and the whole race was just excellent. But that finish was definitely exciting.
I mean, the whole race, literally from the start all the way to the end, it was just, I mean, literally the entire race was unbelievable. And, Had a lot of big names there too, Kane. Had a lot of big names coming up, and everybody, it was all for preparation for this Wednesday coming up, the Daytona 500, the kickoff, the 2014 NASCAR iRacing Series. It is going to be so huge, the Open Series to be more specific. And I really can't wait to get it underway, Kane. It's just so exciting. But what a way to kick it off with this Daytona shootout. Like we said, no points were awarded. It was strictly out of pride. And, I mean, I really think the drivers enjoyed it. We did learn a lot, so there'll be some things that we take from that first shootout and take it into next year. For one, we may even, I think it'd be great if we'll be keeping an eye on who the pole sitters are this year, and it'd be great to get them as an invite for next year's shootout.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. I think to invite the pole people who finish on the pole, or not finish on the pole rather, but start on the pole. Invite all those people to next year's start, and maybe some winners as well. So, either the winners of the races or the pole starters, and invite those guys to next year's Daytona shootout. And I think that's probably one of those two ways will be exactly how we do it, how we get our field for next year's shootout.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to be I think that'll really work, because we're going to end up having a lot of guys that are that deserve to be there. We do want to congratulate the winner, Casey Tucker, on winning the first ever one. But I do want to say the thought of an invitational type deal where literally V8's Online will send the invitations out to the drivers that get the poles and the big wins of the season back into that event, and it will be a true shootout for next season. So it's just a great way to start things off. And of course, we do have the big Daytona 500 coming up Wednesday, 500 miles around Daytona International Speedway, the 2.5 mile oval, 31 degrees of banking, and literally 3, sometimes 4 wide racing for 500 miles, Kane. I can't wait. It's going to be just an unreal experience. I know that that will be the longest distance broadcast that I've ever broadcast. And I'm truly excited to kick off the point season like that way. It's just, what a way to start the season.
Oh, that's going to be a long broadcast. It's definitely going to be the longest broadcast I've ever done. It's going to be long. I don't even know yet how long that's going to be. I know that our 75 lap shootout was over 2 hours, so I imagine it's going to be quite a long night for us.
But even more than long, it's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be 500 long laps, but it's going to be a long, fun laps. It's going to be very intense. The strength of field of the top split of this open NASCAR iRacing series, we've got a lot of guys that are battling for pro licenses, Kane, and they're going to come in there really wanting to prove themselves to the rest of the league. It's going to be a huge, huge event. The top split on the open series, everybody knows by now, or hopefully the majority of everybody knows, that the big stage will be Wednesday night. The stage will be set. The strength of field should be somewhere over right at 6,000. It's going to be insane how good these drivers are. You'll see a lot of big names in this event. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to need to join us. Just go to V8's Online, where hopefully you're watching the race right now, and just click on the NASCAR tab Wednesday. Well, Kane, it's about that time. Thank you guys for listening to the NASCAR stuff, and hope that you guys come and check it out. But hey, buddy, it's Friday night, and we got some V8's Online, V8's America Series, one of all of iRacing. I love it to death and can't wait to get that. And it's actually Watkins Glen week. What more could we ask for, buddy?
I can't think of anything more that I would like to see. Watkins Glen and the V8 Supercars, that's my favorite right there. So we're in for racing.
Yeah, we are in for a huge night of racing. And we're going to have some big keys to the race. Like we said earlier, not quite as many laps this time around. So I think it's going to be really cool to see who's able to run the short stint a lot better. Obviously, last race, we mentioned it a little earlier, but Chad Chastain literally dominated the field, Kane. He had I believe it was like a 30-second lead over second place. So one time I mean, that sounds like a dream, but it really was something like that.
Sounds like you might try that last paragraph again.
Oh boy, hopefully it'll fix itself out.
Yeah, we had the same kind of issue Wednesday night. Let's hope that it clears it up. There he went. JD is lost in cyberspace again, so as we connect to the server here, he will try to rejoin the channel here. Up here any moment and we can get on the way to connecting. But as JD was saying, last time we were at Watkins, Glen, Chad Chastain got a jump on the start, and from the very minute of the start, he had several car lengths ahead and just kept increasing that lead. By the time it was done, he had over a 30-second lead on I believe it was Marlon McMullen.
Can you hear me a little bit clearer, buddy?
I got you now.
Awesome. All right. Sorry about that. I don't know why that's happening, but we'll move on past that. It is a little after 9:15 Eastern time, so you know what that means, guys. It's time to head over towards the track here in just a minute and get this great race started. We should be having some pictures shortly for you, but in the meantime, let's just remember a little bit about the Glen. We were talking right before I clicked out about the dominating performance by Chad Chastain, but we got to remember there was a few drivers that weren't in that race last time around, and that'll be in there this time. Bo Cattell, for example, he'll be here also. I don't remember Vulture or Mark Anderson being in there as well, Kane. So a lot of new talent here in the V8 Supercar America Series. With the popularity of the series going up, it is also bringing in a lot of talent, and that's going to make it a little bit harder for Chad, and I think Chad welcomes the challenge, but it's going to be a challenge for him, so it will be exciting to see tonight who will be able to grasp the big advantage here.
And this time around, there will be some different talent in the field. It's going to be a little bit of a different field than what there was last season. So, but like you said, Chad welcomes that challenge. I know he does, and he's competed with the best of the best. So he's definitely not scared of some competition, and I'm anxious to see it because I know he's got some tremendous pace here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Tremendous pace is a nice way of putting it. I mean, it's a great way of putting it. It is just an incredible guy. And one of the things I wanted to bring up real quick is the fact that the race, I mean, are we going to be, I'm trying to figure out, Kane, if we're going to have a fuel run here. I mean, a pit stop tonight. I haven't been able to.
I know we will not race.
Okay, well that's incredible. So we don't have to worry about the pit stops tonight, guys. The strategy tonight is literally push and go from the get-go. But with that being said, Kane, these guys are gonna have to keep their cars in tip-top shape. They don't have time to fix damages and go into the pits. So once the car's damaged, it's gonna have to stay that way, or you'll lose so much time in the pits that it won't matter anyways. So that's going to be a big key. Not only are you going to have to be fast tonight, but you're going to have to stay out of trouble. That's going to be really crucial when we get ready to start this race, Kane, because these starts, we've seen it all season long, and we saw it a lot last year when these cars keep their nose clean at the beginning of the. But the thing I love about Watkins Glen, Kane, is the speed of this place. This is one of the fastest circuits we go to all year long, and then I pretty much haven't seen the schedule right in front of me to think if there's a. I know it is. This is the fastest track we go to year round on average speed, and I mean it's amazing what these guys do. And these guys are. I'm in the race, and I got some pictures. Kane, how about you, buddy?
Yep.
All right, well, let's talk about the grid real quick. On the pole is Chad Chastain, ladies and gentlemen, with Chris Stone in second. Third is Bo Cattell with the fourth position belonging to Michael Fulcher. Mark Anderson's in the 5th position with 6 belonging to Sanjin Delilac. 7th's going to go to Corey Preston with Jake Burton starting in 8th. Michael Schreier in the 9th position with Kurt Stenberg in 10th. And starting in 11th is Marlon J. McMullen with Marty Carroll in 12th. Dylan starting in the 13th position with Stuart Dent in 14th. Zach Baker back in 15th with 16th going to Aaron Passark starting in the 17th position with Jason Scandalera in 18th. 19th is going to go to Joel Oliveira with Jay Kennedy. Or excuse me, we're underway. We're going green.
We are. They're off for the season 1 round of Watkins Glen.
Oh man, and how awesome is this? Off to a start already. Got some guys using the runoff area down there as coming through turn 1 can be extremely tough. Right now, very tight action all the way through the field, Kane. Everybody scrapping tooth and nail for position.
Chad Chastain got a lead just jump right off the start to get several car links right off the start, but Bo Cattell's not going to let him get away.
No, Bo Cattell is here and try to get up there. Chris Stone up there as well. And keep your eye on this guy. He's slipped away, had a good start, but he already has some company with Chris Stone right behind. Or no, Chris Stone's falling way back there, Kane. Don't know exactly what happened to him. I apologize. He fell back, and he is back in, I think, the about the 8th position, maybe.
Maybe.
Hard to tell right now. Everybody's getting settled for position. We are going through the first lap right now. And how about Bo Cattell already on the tail of Chad? Not going to let Chad run away, just not at least yet. We
Bad
already
news
have
for Michael Fulcher in the pits already after lap 1. He had such a great race yesterday. It looks like it started out kind of bad today.
rough break for Michael Fulcher there. How about Chad Chastain has a new paint this week?
Yeah, nice slick looking black paint instead of orange that he had last season.
Yeah, I like that. It's got the faded tight. It's hard to see the faded American flag there on the side of the car. Can-Am Motorsports. That is awesome. That's a really good looking paint there for Chad Chastain. And behind him in the tag Ford is Bo Cattell with Mark Anderson back in third. Mark battling side by side right now with Corey Preston in the Dayco Ford. They're side by side right now. We got some intense action here for third place. And right now making the pass is going to be Corey Preston made his way up there too. Mark Anderson right now being passed by Corey Preston. And that's Marlon J. McMullen, buddy. I apologize. The #1 car of Marlon J. McMullen. Marlon threw me
Mark
a
Anderson
loop.
now slowing down to a stop in the runoff area off at turn 1. That makes both of the Kamikaze guys out of the race, or at least out of
Man, that
contention.
is so tough for both of those guys. They had a phenomenal race last night. I know that they hate to have this on this race, but at least they have that to fall back on. Sanjin Delilac as well, trying to make his way up as he's made his way around Jake Burton for the 5th position now. And Sanjin looking up to Marlon McMullen up there in 4th.
I am having a little bit of technical difficulties here with the connection to the server. It seems like I keep losing the connection to the server in little bitty skips as the cars kind of disappear. To clear it up as we go along.
You know what? I believe that's iRacing. I'm having the same issue, and so hopefully that will get better throughout the race. Unfortunately, that can happen sometimes. Right now, Chad Chastain has holding about a 2nd lead over Bo Cattell back there in the #2. And then we have Corey Preston back in 3rd place. Marlon J. McMullen currently in 4th with Sanjin Delilac in 5th. Jake Burton is back in 6th place with Michael Schreier in 7th. Kurt Stenberg right now holding it down in 8th position with Todd Parks coming up quickly in 9th. Rounding out the top 10 is Stuart Dent with Jason Scandalera coming around right now trying to make the pass on the inside to the 10th position and overtake Stuart Dent. Back in 12th is Jay Kennedy in. Zach Baker is in 13th. 14th goes to Graham Bones Filland, and Joao Oliveira is in 15th. Mark Anderson is 16th, of course. The other Dayco Ford Falcon, the blue one, and then of course the Ford Falcon right behind him of Michael Schrader. We got all kind of battles all over the track right now here at Watkins Glen. This is what we love so much about this track. Also behind them is Todd Parks in the number 9. He's trying to battle hard with Jason Scandalera as he's coming up. And then we also have Kurt Stenberg as well. Kurt Stenberg leads this pack. He's currently in 8th with Todd Parks back in 9th in the LED Innovations Ford. These guys are all
great battles going all the way through this track.
Literally all the way through the field. Then back in the 12th position is Jay Kennedy. He's got Jason Scandalera, and pull up your gains and losses. Jason Scandalera has moved all the way up to 10th. Kane, I want to say he started all the way back in 15th or 16th. He is on a move.
Yeah, he gained 8 positions, so he started back in 18th position.
How about that? It's only lap 5 and gained 8 positions before the 6th lap start.
Another one that's gained 8 positions. And Marlon McMullen's up 7, up into the 4th position.
Wow. How about this though? We're keeping an eye on the lead by Chad Chastain. He's got 1.7 second lead at the start finish line. Bo Cattell trying to close that gap, Kane. Doing everything he can. It's just he is so fast here. Chad Chastain trying to repeat what he did last season.
Yeah, he's definitely got great pace here. It's going to be tough for Bo to catch him there, to even keep up with him, but to catch him now that he's got a couple seconds ahead. But if there's anybody in the field tonight that can do it, it would be Bo Cattell or Marlon McMullen. And Marlon's stuck back there in a fight with Sanjay Dalalik at the moment, so you know that's going to cut his pace just a little bit, being in such a tough battle. So Chad's off to a great start so far.
Kurt Stenberg in the Dayco Ford Falcon trying to hold off Todd Parks in the LED Innovations Ford, and this is the battle for 8. Both of these guys trying to battle for position, and right behind Todd Parks is Jason Scandalera, one of the top gainers here so far at the track today. He's back in 10th right now as he passed Stuart Dent just a little earlier, and already moving up to catch up to Todd Parks. This is an incredible battle as he just creeped into the top 10, now moving in a little bit closer to 9. And Todd Parks, he's in the packaging and more Ford Falcon in the number 15 car today, if those looking on. He's a teammate of Todd Parks, I believe. So I believe they'll be kind of working together back there. I was checking on Stuart Dent in the Xbox One Ford. He was in the 10th position, has fallen back. And hopefully he'll be able to get his groove back going again. We've seen Stuart Dent right up there with the best of them, so hopefully he'll be able to gather everything back up. Marlon J. McMullen and Sanjay Dalalik Kane, these guys are still going at it. Marlon's still able to hold the 4th position right now, but he has a very close battling Sanjay Dalalik on his tail as they head down the front straight to start a new lap. It is now 8 laps. I mean, we're on lap 8.
Yeah, Sanjay, I seen his times in qualifying. We're down in the 111s and pretty low 111s. So I know that he's got more pace there, and so I know that he can keep up with Marlon on this track tonight. And if Marlon makes any kind of mistake at all, I know that Sanjay will be right there. So Marlon's really got to concentrate tonight on making no mistakes and keeping everything together if he wants to finish this race well.
And so good. The battle behind them, though, with Michael Schrader and Jake Burton has really tightened up here. Jake Burton trying to do everything he can in the Dayco Ford Falcon to hold off the Darrell Lee Ford of Jake Burton. Or the Darrell Lee of Michael Schrader trying to get Jake Burton. I apologize. I thought we had an issue there, but it was just a issue there.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing last week.
It's easy to do out here when you get excited, man. These guys are so close right now. Right now, Michael Schrader trying to use the draft of Jake Burton's car right now. As they head into turn 1, will he try to get the inside? It looks like he will not. He just sticks right there on the bumper. It's lap 9 right now. They got plenty of time left, but they need to start trying to move to the front. I know that's what some of the guys like Marlon J. McMullen are trying to do. but he's got Sanchin to Lilac on his tail, and these guys are still going at it, Kane.
Graham Filan is right on the bumper of Zach Baker, fighting for the 13th position. Graham's been there for lap after lap, right there in the mirror of Zach Baker. Zach's been having to put up with a lot of pressure there. Looks like Graham's going to try to get around him going into the bus stop. He just thought about it, and
oh, big trouble. Could have been.
He took it a little wide as he thought about it right at the end and decided not to, and it kind of ran him a little off course, but I think he'll be able to catch back up and try that move again in a couple laps.
That was definitely a scary move. Now we see Todd Parks trying to hold off Jason Scandalera there in the 10th position. I mean, there's battles all over, but Kane, we talked about it all pre-race about Chad Chastain's dominance here last season. Could he be on his way to back-to-back wins here at the Glen? And not only that, back-to-back wins here in the season. He's already off to over a 4.5-second gap over Beau Cattell. That is very impressive.
Yeah, we knew coming into this that Chad was a dominating factor here at this track, and it's proven to be so again this season. He's just got such major pace at this track.
I mean, just very impressive.
Starting to see little bits of gap in the top few cars. They're starting to get a little spread out here as Beau Cattell's got a few seconds from Chad, and then Corey Preston in third. Corey's having a great race tonight up in third.
Man, he's by himself, so we haven't been able to talk about him as much as we normally would when he's normally in these big battles. But Corey Preston in the HPR Ford doing a fantastic job. He's only right under 7 seconds out of the lead, and he'll be creeping up on Beau Cattell here pretty soon if he can get a good run. And I think that could happen with how clean that Corey's running. All it's going to take is one of these guys to slip up a little, and we could have a new leader, or better yet, at least a fight for the lead. So don't give up on this race yet. Even though it's a 4.5-second gap between first and second right now, things do happen, and don't be surprised if we see something like this happen tonight. Man, I tell you what, go back to the Jake Burton and Michael Schraer battle. There they go again as they enter the bus stop, still bumper to bumper. Some of the other battles have kind of split apart a little bit. These two have not moved an inch. They're still fighting right there, one behind the other. Jake Burton in the number 12 Dayco Ford Falcon, able to hold off the Darrell Lee machine of Michael Schraer, and this is one heck of a battle.
Yeah, but looking back about 2 seconds back, we've got Kurt Stenberg, who's in clean air. And with those two fighting up there, Kurt Stenberg could definitely catch up to those guys and make it a three-way battle.
And we've seen Kurt Stenberg, Kane, in the past. He is an extremely fast driver. Don't be surprised to see that happen. We got a nice trail of cars that starts right behind Kurt Stenberg with the LED Innovations machine of Todd Parks, Jason Scandalera there in the number 15. And then, of course, the Xbox One Ford Falcon of Stuart Dent. Then we go back to 12, and Jay Kennedy is back there in the number 20 machine. And behind him is the Zach Baker Bones Fillin. Remember, they had a battle going, and Bones slipped up as they were going into the bus stop. A scary moment there for the ZB Racing machine of Zach Baker. But they worked out fine, and you were talking about maybe Bones catching back up. Well, Graham Fillin is caught back up now. He's almost right on the bumper there of Zach Baker. Look for this battle to continue here in about another lap.
Jay Kennedy doing a good job at holding off the two, Zach Baker and Graham Filan, both. Graham Filan. You know, both of those guys have proven to be top-notch racers, super fast. Jay Kennedy holding those guys off, so good job to Jay.
Oh boy, we got us a battle for fourth place again as Marlon McMullen has his hands full. Sanjin gets a little loose going into turn one. He's going to lose a little time as he has to get use a lot of that runoff area there. That was kind of a scary moment as the back end started swaying on him. Very interesting there. Big breath of fresh air for Marlon McMullen in the Dayco Ford.
Yeah, but again, Sanjin's got such great pace here. I don't think it'll be long till he's back on the bumper of Marlin, giving him for his money.
Yeah, he already is, Kane. Here we are in the bus stop, and he's already back up there. You were daggum right on it. Here's Sanjin Delilac doing it again. The guy is a perfectionist. That's why I say I see him in practice all the time. He's always tweaking the car, always working on this stuff. And look how much it pays off. Here he is fighting in 5th place, trying to catch the defending champion up there in 4th at one of the fastest tracks on the entire schedule. And he's doing a great job, man. He's right there battling for position. Bo Cattell and Chad Chastain has fallen to a little over 7 seconds now. But look at the battle for second. Corey Preston in the HPR Ford has caught Bo Cattell up in the tag Ford Falcon. Look at this, Kane.
Wow, I just can't say enough. Corey Preston having a great race today. You know, he's had such bad luck for the entire season, I think. He's just had such bad, crummy luck, and it's good to see him up there having a good race.
I mean, it is awesome. Very proud of Corey Preston there in the high-powered racing Ford. Really doing good. Oh, man, look at this, and check out the battle for 9th and 10th. I was watching a minute ago, and Jason Scandalera has finally passed Todd Parks for the 9th position. Now, Todd Parks trying to hold off Stuart Dent for the 10th position. Stuart's trying to get his 10th spot back.
Yeah, Stuart Dent's another great, clean driver that we see week after week, running such a phenomenal job at keeping things clean. I always love to watch the Stuart Dent battles because he keeps it so clean, and so close and so clean.
So fresh and so clean, but he's fast too. That's the thing, you know. When you get it, somebody that can drive real clean, but also be fast as he is. That's what's awesome, and that's what a lot of drivers can really learn from, is watching those guys.
But it's not really something that's out of the ordinary in this series here. All these drivers are really quick and good, clean drivers. That's the main thing I really love about this series, is the respect level that everybody has for each other.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Back in 15th place, we haven't talked much about him, but Joao Oliveira is up there. He's back in the 15th in the Lenovo Ford Falcon, and he's only about 4 seconds off of Zach Baker up in 14th. So maybe he'll be able to catch up there. I just didn't want to leave him out back there. He's still on the lead lap. We still have 15 cars on the lead lap, other than the 4 cars unable to you know, to avoid the incidents early in the race that are out. Everybody else is on the lead lap. That's a really we have our leader zipping around here.
Yeah, lots of damage on Joao's car, so he must have got into some trouble early on. So a tough break for Joao Oliveira. Hopefully next week he can come back and have a better race.
Yeah, I'm sure things will be on the upside for the Lenovo Ford driver. Is right now around in turn 1. He's trying to catch up to Zach Baker there. He's still holding about the same time. He's running the same speed as Zach up there. And then Jay Kennedy has got a little traffic now as Graham Bones filing right there on his tail. And this is going to be a battle right here for the 12th position, Kane.
Yeah, Jay's definitely under some serious pressure with Graham Filan on his bumper like that. I haven't watched Jay run enough to know how well he is at doing with that kind of pressure, but Graham is definitely putting some serious pressure on him.
Yeah, right now, Bones looking to the inside. He does not have any kind of room to get the nose in, but just trying to maybe make sure he's make sure that the enemy in front knows that he's there. He's making sure that the HPR is in the rearview mirror of Jay Kennedy's car, and that's going to definitely weigh on the mind of Jay. But we'll see how they do. We'll check back in just a moment. One of my favorite battles of the race so far has been the Marlon J. McMullen Sanjin Delilac battle, and that battle it's still there, but there is a small gap in between the two, both drivers heading in the bus stop. Now behind them, still bumper to bumper, is Jake Burton in the Dayco Ford Falcon, and in the Darrell Lee. And on the inside, here comes The Michael Schrayer and the Dale Lee Ford Falcon door-to-door coming around the turn right now. The Dayco Ford Falcon on the outside tries to somehow find an advantage, and he can't get one to speed. They are still door handle to door handle, white knuckle racing all the way down the straight. Now the Dayco Ford will have the inside advantage, and instead he just pulls in front. What a great job by Jake Burton right there. That was incredible in the final turn here at Watkins Glen.
Incredible pressure there. A great job by Jake for holding off that charge.
And that's the stuff that gets my blood pumping right there, man. Great job by Jake Burton.
Well, Michael Schraer's blood's got to be pumping too, and you know, knowing how close he was to get in that position, I'll bet we see another attempt here very soon.
One of the drivers I have been keeping an eye on in and out of these battles we've been watching has been the packaging and more Ford Falcon driver, Jason Scandalera, and he has caught his way up to the. Keep in mind, Jason Scandalera started way back in the field, and we already saw him battle the likes of Stu and back up to Jake Burton, and that on the inside and tried to make the big pass on the lap 2 laps ago when we had the big battle. Here you see the left to this gap. Here they are up through the S's.
Graham Finley looking to make a move on Jake Kennedy as they go through turn 1. He thought better of it and backed off. Jake Kennedy's got a little bit of breathing room now as he got a little bit better exit out of turn 1. Sorry to interrupt you, Jay. I just pulled off the in-car and went back to check on that battle and seen that it was heating up.
Well, Kane, I'm trying to find out. Something has happened to Bo Cattell. He is in the pits and back into 15th place. And I'm going to try to figure out what happened there. He definitely pulled in the pits. He wasn't towed. I'm just trying to find out Bo.
I'll go back a minute or so on the race recall replay and see if I can find out. I need to go back just a little bit further.
Oh boy.
And I'll bet I can find it here.
It'll be impressive if you do. It's going to be on lap 9. It's going to be when I'm trying to see if it's going into the bus stop. Oh man, it is when he's going into the bus stop, and I think that he had a connection issue or something because his car on my screen disappeared, Kane.
Well, let's go to the race recall replay as we found it here. We'll catch him coming out of the S's onto the straight and following from there. There's a connection issue there for sure. Yes, he is blinking in and out.
Yeah, I actually see Sanjay Delilac has wrote a personal apology saying sorry you were blinking to Bo Cattell, so that must have been the problem, Kane.
Yeah, he was completely disappeared whenever Sanjay hit him. There was nothing Sanjay could have done there differently. And I wonder how bad the damage is on Sanjay's car as Bo just kind of popped up right in front of him there.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'm checking really close right now on Sanjay Delilac's Ford, and the Altitude Volvo looks really good right now from what I can see. No physical damage that I can see. So hopefully everything's okay. Maybe everything mechanical is okay as well. But definitely Sanjay has fallen back from Marlon McMullen there, as there's about a 3-second gap in between the two drivers. But nothing Sanjay can't make up. Now Marlon J. McMullen is in 3rd place. We talked pre-race, Kane, about how important it was for Marlon McMullen to come into Watkins Glen and put down a great performance after the rough week 1 start at Mosport, and then finishing or not able to make the race last week at Brands Hatch. So here he is in 3rd place right now, the defending champ Marlon McMullen in the 3rd place. And right now fighting for a podium. Be fun to see how he's able to finish this race. This race is going to get out from under us in a hurricane. We're on lap number 23 right now. And Chad Chastain has about a 10.5-second lead over 2nd place driver Corey Preston.
Yeah, last lap for Chad as he's done it again. Just completely dominated another round at Watkins Glen. Yeah, congratulations to Chad. And all he's got to do is get through this last half a lap here, and he will have done it again. But just as
That
importantly, Corey Preston, second place. What a great run for Corey.
It's amazing, man. And Corey Preston has really impressed me here today. I mean, he just came in here and just made a statement. I mean, the HBR Ford has made a statement here at Watkins Glen. And Chad Chastain right now, there he is, man, rocking and rolling.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations to Chad. Good win. What a 10-second lead. Great job. Then Corey Preston in second. Marlon McMullen comes across in third with Sanjin in fourth.
And back in fifth place. Oh, look who will cross right in front of Jake Burton. It is Michael Schreier. Will get a top 5. He battled in the whole race. What a job by Michael Schreier. Jake Burton will finish 6th with Kurt Stenberg coming across in 7th. 8th, Jason Scandarola with Todd Parks in 9th. Stuart Dents comes across in 10th. 11th's going to go to Jake Kennedy as he comes across. Bones Filan. Zach Baker will make the cross in 13th. And coming across in 14th will be Joao Oliveira. And that is how they will finish running. Poor Bo Cattell. I hate the issue with the connection because he wasn't able to finish the race, but it will score him in 15th, Kane. 16th is going to go to Mark Anderson with Chris Stone in 17th. Cole Fulcher with Aaron Passmore in 19th. And that is how, and it has Marty Carroll there in 20th, but I didn't know that he did start the race, but something happened. I think he exited before the race started.
It's showing with no, he made the grid.
Okay. I saw him on the grid for a set, or I saw his name on the grid, but then it disappeared. V8 Supercar America Series, Mark Mullen in the Dayco Ford, Sanjin Delilac. Even with a little bit of damage that he may have had on the car, it doesn't cause him trouble as he's able to finish in 4th. Michael Schreier does a phenomenal job and finally passed a great race all race long, having Michael Schreier putting the pressure on. Gets a great finish in 6th. Kurt Stenberg, always a fast driver, finishing in the 7th position with a great quality run here at Watkins Glen. Jason Scandalera will finish in the 8th position after starting in the back of the field and working his way up to an 8th place finish. A very good job. He couldn't quite catch Kurt there at the end, but a great job. He finished 0.2 of a second slower as they finished very close. Todd Parks is going to come in 9th place with round. This thing came and left in a hurry, buddy. I literally looked down and said, oh my gosh, this thing, we're on the last lap.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. They're racing bumper to bumper. That can get intense. 40 laps or however many we did last time, 37, something like that. It was a lot of laps. I know that last time around. That makes your muscles sore and everything. So I'm sure with it being as intense as it was today, that these guys were kind of glad to see that it was a short race.
I am too, and I think it's about time we get some of the guys in here and talk with them at race long. Literally battled till the one heck of a run, finishing in 6th in this group of drivers is an incredible task, Jake. You have to be feeling good.
Oh, I'm really stoked to finish where I am, but I'm still shaking. That was just the pleasure of racing with Michael. Got a lot of respect for him. A couple really good races before. Virginia last season was really good, but that was just awesome fun. Got a lot of respect for him, nice and clean.
That's one thing we've really seen. A lot of respect among drivers. Every two-car battle we've seen tonight, the drivers were each showing each other such great respect, and it's really nice to watch the races whenever the drivers are showing each other such great respect like that. So congratulations to both of you guys for doing such a great job and showing everybody how clean racing can really be.
Yeah, it was awesome fun. Thanks a lot to Michael. One of the most fun races I've had in a very long time. So.
Excellent, Jake. Well, Jake, one more question here before we let you go, buddy. We head off next week to Road Atlanta. Great track, and I can't wait to see the race there. How's it going to be for you going into Road Atlanta?
It's definitely going to be a learning experience. I mean, I've never ever driven the car there, so a lot of practice. And,
Sounds great, buddy. Well, congratulations again on the great run tonight. You have a great night, Jake.
Thanks, guys.
And that is Jake Burton, everybody, driver of the Dayco Ford. And
Yeah, as it started from there on, just focusing on my lines and just watching the battles develop around me. Had an awesome battle between Sanjin throughout the race.
For Bo, I hate that for Bo Cattell, but it looked like it didn't cause too much trouble for Sanjin. You guys had a great battle all night long, though, buddy. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah, it was awesome punching lap after lap, trying to do the best time.
And up in the second spot, that's a great result.
Oh, I tell you what, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it really. That big, I think it involved 3 or 4 cars. I'm not really sure how I got past it, but yeah, I did, and managed to hunt down Bo and get past him. And yeah, I was trying to hold on to Chad. But yeah, it was a bit of a confidence boost. Yeah, the car felt really good during the race. Showed tonight, but yeah, again, well done to Chad.
Everybody, thanks a lot, Corey. And next, I want to get in here our race winner and back-to-back Chastain driver of the Can-Am Motorsport Ford Falcon. Chad, do you have a copy, buddy?
I do. Thank me.
Oh, absolutely. Always a pleasure, Chad. Huge. And you did it again, buddy. Dominated last year and turn around and do it again this year. 2 seasons in a row. The Glen has been good to Chad.
Yeah, it certainly has. A little home cooking. The track's not too far from my my house, so maybe I can get a little bit of home voodoo or something. And having a good start doesn't hurt either, man. I don't know what it is about this place, but I get some ace starts here.
Yeah, that was really key. But even with a good start, Bo Cattell's an extremely fast driver. He was there in the second position right behind you, buddy. And, I thought he was going to get up there with you there for a minute, but each lap you kept just barely getting faster times with him and extending your lead, and slowly but surely you kept chipping away at it, and next thing you know, you had a 10-second lead over everybody. So congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It took me a few laps to get into a rhythm. I was doing maybe a little too much mirror watching there and seeing how he was doing, but I saw I was getting a couple of tenths every lap, and finally took a breath and settled down. And yeah, like I said, 1 week at a time.
That's it, buddy. And speaking of home cooking, we head off to my home track next week as we head to Road Atlanta. And Road Atlanta can be a very difficult track for certain drivers. Other drivers, it's heaven on earth. They love it. You, buddy.
Hopefully a little bit of revenge. I did a lot of looking at Marlon McMullen's rear bumper last season, so hopefully I can switch that up a little and pip him this time. But yeah, season.
We just got through talking with Marlon just a moment ago, and he's already said he's very excited about Road Atlanta. It's one of his favorite fast there, so we can't wait to see that battle next week.
Yeah, I think it's going to shape up to be a good one. It looks like Marlon got on track this week, and it's still so early. It's a game on for the championship. I'm excited.
Great, buddy. Well, thanks again, Chad, and once again, congratulations on another victory, back-to-back. Not only back-to-back weeks, but back-to-back at Watkins Glen. Very impressive, buddy. Enjoy this one.
I will, JD. JD Kane, thanks, guys.
Absolutely, buddy. And that is Chad Chastain, everybody, driver of the Can-Am Ford Falcon.
Thank you,
and yeah, there you go, buddy. Sorry about that, Kane. I was giving him the good old exit. And next I want to get in here Bo Cattell. I want to get Bo in here after an interesting incident there. Bo, do you have a copy, buddy?
Yeah, mate. Gotcha.
Excellent. Welcome to the broadcast. And I just wanted to let you know we were watching, and we noted, had a great battle. A great race going on up there in the second position, trying to catch up to Chad Chastain. And the next thing I noticed, you were in the pits, and we tried to go back and watch, and it looked like maybe a connection issue might have caught up with you tonight.
Yeah, from lap 1, turn 1, I had really, really high ping, and the car did not feel anything like I've ever driven it before. And yeah, I was trying to keep out of trouble, but none of my laps were registering. I'd turn a corner and the connection would drop out, and I'd think I'd cut it. So yeah, it wasn't very good.
I tell you, the internet tonight has just been killer all the way around. I think as we watch this broadcast back, we're going to see some serious connection issues there. I've seen that the connection all the way through the field has been bad tonight, and even my connection here to the broadcast server has been bad. It seems to be picking up now and doing okay, but there's been spots throughout the night where it's just been horrible. So the internet as a whole has just been horrible tonight.
Yeah, well, I came into TeamSpeak to do the interview and no one could hear me, so I had to jump out, and I'm on my mobile phone now, so that's how bad it is.
Well, I'm so glad that you were here, able to come race at the Glen, and I guess we'll just have to put tonight behind you, man. We know that we knew something was up that was beyond your control, because we know how fast you tend to be. And speaking of that, we're going to be heading off to Road Atlanta next week with a lot of the other drivers, and I've spoken about how it's either drivers love that track or they hate it. What's it going to be for you? Is that one of your better tracks, or is it one you really hate to go race at?
No, I actually really love it. It's just, it is extremely slippery, and it's no matter what you do with your setup, you just can't seem to get that corner right. It's interesting, but lots of passing opportunities, and definitely one of my favourite tracks, so I'm looking forward to it.
That's good news, Bo. That's what I like to hear. It sounds like we're going to have a really good race on our hands next week. Chad Chastain and both Marlon McMullen have already said how excited they are for it. It's fun tracks for them as well. So really looking forward to the race next week, Chad. Bo, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you Chad. Sorry about Bo. I really hated to see that, my friend, and best of luck to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Bo Cattell, everybody. And always good to have Bo here on the show talking with us, and I really hated to see that. Next I want to get in here, Kurt Stenberg. And Kurt, another fast run tonight. A really good showing here at Watkins Glen. It seems like week in and week out, you're just consistently fast, my friend. It helped you a lot in the point standings last year, and it seems like you're just keeping it going there. You had a 7th place finish tonight. Tell us a little bit about how Watkins Glen went for you.
Yeah, it went all right. It was a bit scary coming out of turn 1 on that first lap with all the cars everywhere, but I just tried to avoid it because I didn't want any damage early on. But yeah, it was mostly just cruise mode. I didn't really have anyone around me until the last sort of 6 laps when Jason caught me, and then it was defend because he seemed to be a tiny bit faster, so 7th. So yeah.
Boy, he was coming in a hurry. You're right. We literally saw him, Jason, back of the field. He passed one by one every driver all the way up to behind you, but you were able to hold him off there, and a really good job to get a 7th place position on a super strong strength of field tonight. So congratulations on a good run. And I know, like I was telling everybody else, we're moving on to Road Atlanta next week, buddy, and I hope it's going to be another great track for you, Kurt.
Yeah, it's basically one of my favourite tracks, so it probably is my favourite track other than Bathurst, so I'll be there with bells and whistles on.
That makes me happy. That's my hometown track, so very excited about that, buddy.
Yep.
All right, best of luck to you, and that is Kurt Stenberg, everybody. Always a pleasure talking to Kurt. He had another phenomenal performance here tonight. And next I want to get in here one of V8's Online's own, Mr. Jay Kennedy. Jay, how you doing tonight, buddy?
G'day, boys. How are you?
Oh, doing great, Jay. Always a pleasure to talk to you, buddy. Had a really good race tonight there at Watkins Glen. We saw you have good battles behind you, and then they were coming up to you. Phenomenal job on the track. Tell us a little bit about Watkins Glen this evening.
Well, I've done no practice. That's number one thing I probably should point out. I did 3 laps of practice, did 1 lap in the warm-up, and that's my practice done. Started 20th, just tried to stay out of trouble, and somehow found myself pushing for a top 10, finish 11th. So, good fun. I want to thank Des Hallam for spotting me with the guys coming up behind me who are obviously a lot quicker than me, but managed to hold them out, and good finish.
3 laps of practice to come out of this field with an 11th place finish. You deserve a big pat on the back, buddy. That is an incredible job. You should be very proud. You had some big names there finishing behind you tonight, so you should definitely feel good about tonight's performance.
Yeah, pretty happy, especially to beat Bones. I've known Bones for ever since I was a little kid, so to beat Bones is always good fun. Bones and I have always had some big battles, especially in the Americas races, so to get one up on Bones.
Awesome news, Jay. We're heading off to Road Atlanta next week. Is there any chance that we see Jay Kennedy in the race at Road Atlanta next week?
Zero chance, unfortunately, boys. This is probably a one-off for me at the moment. I actually have work commitments next Saturday, Australian time, so I won't be able to make it, but I might pop my head over for Wednesday night's NASCAR race to have a chat with you boys.
Oh, we sure hope you get to come by and peek your head in for a minute and have a good talk with us. We sure do appreciate it, buddy.
My pleasure, boys.
I know there's lots of fans that will be glad to hear your voice again.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think I have fans. I usually get hate mail, not fan mail, so it's good fun though, boys, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good fun. I've been in a day like Watkins Glen. It's great fun.
Probably brings out the best, most close and enjoyable racing to watch at Watkins Glen, so it's always fun having it in the schedule. I think we might have to try and sneak it in twice next season.
We're going to have to find a way. And Sim, I'm going to bring him in here with you, Jay. We got Graham Bones filing with us. Bones, how you doing?
Hey, JD, Thomas, how you going?
We're doing absolutely fantastic. We want you guys to line back up and race at the Glen one more time.
Yeah,
deal.
I think I beat Jay once, but it was a little bit controversial. Hey, Jay.
Suzuka, yeah, you decided to spin me at Spoon, and I've never forgot that one.
Oh, you come down on me. No, that was fantastic. I was a bit disappointed early on when I got that cut penalty, had to slow back down, but the way the race panned out, I really enjoyed it. So.
Oh, you had a great battle all race long. You were back there having your own battle. Jay was up there in front hoping that you were going to have your hands full the whole time. And it ended up working out good for Jay, but you put on a fantastic show for us tonight, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I love this track, and yeah, it was just to see if I can get up behind him.
Sounds good. You know, we're heading off to Road Atlanta next week. Hometown track. I always get super pumped up about Road Atlanta, especially when we get there in the V8s. Is it going to be a good week for you, or is that a tough track for you, buddy?
Yeah, I like it, but yeah, I don't think I've ever done too well at it, but we'll see how it goes.
That's quite all right, buddy. Well, best of luck to you in practice. Bones, always good talking to you, buddy. We definitely enjoyed watching you race here at the Glen tonight. Congratulations. Like I was telling Jay, we had an extremely tough field tonight. A lot of great names in the lineup tonight. So for you guys to finish where you did was fantastic. And a very enjoyable job with the battle as well, keeping everything clean. You had a scary moment there for a minute with Zach Baker there, I believe it was. And or was that somebody else, Kane? I'm trying to remember.
Zach.
That was Zach.
Filling his mirror. Yeah, I was filling his mirrors a little bit, and then he might have thought he sort of kept to left a little bit, thinking I was going to go there, but I wasn't. And then he backed off a little bit, and I just tapped his rear, and he held it then, but the next time he went off by himself, and I thought I should have been up there to bump him to keep him on track.
Yeah,